Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Alex, the Comic Hoarder. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. I have been getting yelled at in the comments to please show us DC foundational books. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you 10 DC foundational books, kind of from that bronze, copper, and modern era. I'm going to try to fit them into that. Not going to go all the way back to the Silver Age or not going super modern, but we're going to go a little bronze, a little copper, a little modern, and see how it goes. So hopefully you guys are excited. Here we go. I've got to thank the sponsor of this channel. It's the Shortbox app. They're the easiest and safest way to buy and sell graded comic books online. There's a link in the description below to download that app today for Apple and Android users. Please go down there right now and check out that link in the description. Download the app and start shopping today. I've been doing a series on foundational books, and I've had a lot of fun gathering these books, finding these books, hunting for them, and adding them to my collection to increase the overall appeal and increase the overall value of my collection. It's been a lot of fun, and I've been sharing that with the YouTube comic book community and my community here at Alex the Comic Hoarder. I've been getting a ton of great feedback, and I really do appreciate that, but I've been getting yelled at in the comments, please show us some DC love. Where's the DC books? And it's been great. It's been refreshing. It lets me know that you guys really do want to see some DC books. I know that you guys like DC. I love DC. Trust me, I love DC. I'm kind of on a Copper Age Marvel kick right now. I want to fill up the rest of that wall with those great Copper Age keys. But I want to show you something first about foundational books and why they're important. So I've got a short box here. I collect pretty much anything that I see. If it's a hot book, I collect it. If it's on one of the hot top 10 books, I usually go for it. If I see it on one of those videos, I'm kind of a sucker for it. I get the FOMO and I go out and try to hunt for it and I try to buy it. Sometimes I even go to eBay and I just get stuck in this rut, and then I get a short box like this and I'm like, 90% of this stuff is just stuff that is pretty common. And another thing too is I'll start showing some of the variants that come out like week to week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have that Art Germ variant. It's so good. I saw it on Instagram for a preview. I've got to have that Art Germ. Well, guess what? Next week, the week after that Art Germ comes out, there's going to be another Art Germ. And then there's going to be another DNA like David Nakayama, which I love David Nakayama. I'm a sucker for David Nakayama covers right now. Adam Hughes covers. They just keep coming out every single week, and I just keep wanting to buy them. But I've got to focus if I want a collection that I'm really going to be proud of. And of course, I'm not telling you how to collect your books. I'm just making a suggestion on things that I want to do personally for my collection. If you like it, then come on for the journey. Let's do this together. If you don't like it, just stay here for the entertainment value. See what books I'm going to show, and it's just a lot of fun. But I'm not telling you that the way you collect is wrong. And I haven't been getting any comments like that either. So I'm not retaliating or responding to any negative comments. Everything's been pretty much positive for the most part, and a lot of great views and a lot of thumbs up. So I really do appreciate it. If you're brand new to the channel, hit that subscription button, hit that bell to be notified when there's future videos. Let me start showing you guys what's in this box. So this is the first appearance of Arrowette. I remember that was a key back in the day. It was kind of hot. I probably didn't spend more than $1 on that. Then there is this one, always great Michael Turner cover. I'm always buying these if they're in the dollar bin or whatever. This is the first appearance of Maxwell Lord. These are not foundational books. This is just a box that I pulled out to just kind of demonstrate. This is the first appearance of Jesse Quick. Pretty cool character. I think that's a nice one. This is just an Adam Hughes cover. Really cool cover. So you guys are probably looking at this box like, hey, these are pretty decent keys. Really great Art Germ Mara cover. Cool. I think this is Warren Lau, maybe? Warren Lau. Yep. Nightwing cover. Pretty cool stuff there. These are great books to have, but these are not going to knock the socks off of. These are the ones that I was thinking about. These Art Germs. They're great. They're awesome. I love collecting these. I love having these in the collection. They're really great to flip through and enjoy the covers, but these are not going to knock the socks off of a dealer when you bring in your comic book collection to sell, or if you're like, hey, check out my collection. I mean, I'll appreciate it. I think these are great books. Really cool Art Germ, kind of a rare Superman pre-New 52 variant, but these are not going to knock the socks off of a dealer. If you bring your collection in to sell, they're going to be like, okay, that's kind of bulk stuff. I don't really see any big keys in there. It's bulk, so they're not going to go crazy for this collection. If I brought this short box in to sell, this is a Shannon Mare variant. So if you're going out there chasing variants, which is awesome, obviously you can see I've got variants in here. Dealers aren't going to go crazy. They're going to be like, well, that's a variant, that's a store exclusive. Well, everything else is an exclusive. Everything else is a variant. That's everything that comes out anymore is a variant. My suggestion is if you're gonna buy those books, buy them sparingly. Know that, if you miss out on that Art Germ variant that came out last week, and you, dang it, I really wanted that book. Don't be going on eBay and paying $20 for it, because another Art Germ cover is gonna come out next week. There's a really cool Catwoman, like 1 in 50s, 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s, or whatever, that are coming out right now. Great covers. But I can tell you what, I've got a million of those great covers that were just B covers that I didn't have to spend $80 to get. And guess what? In 2 months, nobody's going to care that those are 1 in 50s. They're just going to say, that's another variant. That's another variant. So is that Art Germ that was a B cover. That was the same cover price as the A cover. Buy those books sparingly. Sorry to go on a rant. Let's go ahead and get into what I think are some great, these are all books that I have too. So I'm not going out there telling you guys to buy books that I don't have or that I wouldn't collect. These are all books that I think if you had these in your collection and someone was flipping through, they would at least say, man, your collection has some great books in it. And if you're a run collector too, I'm sorry, this video is not about collecting runs, but I do have a huge respect for collecting runs. I think it's one of the greatest things in the hobby, completing a run, finding those books. When you're collecting a run, everything becomes a key. It's really cool because you're like, I need Miss Marvel number 19. It's not really a key book, but it becomes a key, and the excitement is there when you finally find that book in a long box at an LCS. So the first book up is Mr. Miracle number 1. I'm going to try to put up some information on the bottom about what you can probably find these books for. But Mr. Miracle number 1, great Jack Kirby creation, Fourth World creation. This is one of those books that every time I see it, I'm like, that is a cool book. I really like that book. I have a huge respect for that Jack Kirby time when he was at DC, in the 70s. This is really, really awesome. This is just a great book to have in your collection. Hopefully there's information down here for you guys on what you can probably expect to pay for something like this. 9.8, 9.6, something like that. But this for me is a raw book. If you're thinking about foundational keys and stuff that really, you'll be flipping through your short box and you're like, man, this is a great book. Batman 227. The Neil Adams homage to Detective Comics 31, probably arguably the greatest Batman cover in existence. This is an homage to that. You've got Batman ominously looking over the castle, the damsel in distress running away. Just a great, beautiful copy. Neil Adams covers are just so amazing, and anytime I'm flipping through my boxes and I see one of these, I just have to pull it out and check it out because they're so great. Another one that I have right here is Batman 244, The Demon Lives Again. Really great Ra's al Ghul cover with Batman laying there with a sword, protruding out of his abdomen. It's just crazy. Really great Neil Adams covers. Another Neil Adams cover that always catches my attention. I know dealers really like this book. This one is the one that I got for $15 down in Marion, Illinois when I was down there. But this is Superman number 233, The Breaking of the Chains. Really great Neil Adams, iconic Neil Adams cover. This one's one of those ones I think is a foundational book. When you're flipping through your collection and you see this book, you're like, I got to pull this out and look at this thing. This is so incredible. To me, this is what Superman looks like when I was young, growing up in the 80s and 90s. I was like, that is what Superman looks like to me. Another foundational book is Detective Comics Presents number 26. This is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. There is Starfire, Raven, Cyborg. Amazing characters, amazing book. And you can still find this one for relatively cheap. I'm going to put some prices down here so you guys can see that. DC Comics Presents number 26 is a book that you just do not pass up. When you see this book for a good price, it's like, this is a keeper. There's great first appearances. This is probably like the Uncanny X-Men 129, the first appearance of Emma Frost and Kitty Pryde and the Hellfire Club. This is a great book. Definitely a foundational book for DC collectors. And in the same vein, you always have to at least pay respect to this book or pick it up if you can. This is Tales of Teen Titans number 44, the first appearance of Nightwing. Such a great book. Nightwing is such an important character. Dick Grayson Robin is my favorite Robin. Then when he is Nightwing, it's such an important character as well in DC continuity. So this is a great book. It's a great storyline. The Judas Contract, Tales of Teen Titans number 44. Such a great book, and you can still find it for such a great deal. Anytime I'm flipping through my short box and I see this book, it's definitely one that I have a huge respect for. Speaking of Robin, another foundational book is Batman number 357. This is the first appearance of Jason Todd and also Killer Croc in cameo. This is an awesome book. It's got kind of this weird cover, like you don't quite know what's going on. There's some squid or something like that choking out Batman. Jason Todd is in a very small, maybe 2 pages, and it's hard to pick him out. But this is a cool book. Very much reminiscent of Dick Grayson in this, but it's just an awesome book, and I think this is certainly a foundational book as Jason Todd has transitioned into the Red Hood, such a prominent figure in DC Comics. This is awesome. And of course, Death in the Family is one of the most iconic storylines and best storylines in comic books. This is another one that I think is a foundational book for many reasons. Just an awesome book. This one you can still have in like this grade for a decent price, and I think it's one of those ones where John Stewart is going to be a very, very important character. HBO Max is going to be doing Green Lantern, and I think John Stewart has always been one of those very, very important DC characters. And this is actually the second appearance of Guy Gardner in this issue. This is a great Neil Adams cover. He was in the Justice League cartoon, so a lot of people grew up with John Stewart being their Green Lantern. So this is a very, very important book. And as you can see, prices for some of the lower grade books are still affordable. And I think this is one that I would always want in my collection for a foundational book. Another surprisingly affordable book is New Gods number 1. Lots of first appearances in this book and in the 6.5 white pages, which is really great. White pages. I've never had a decent copy of this book. Every time I have a copy of this book, you can see all the damage. There's all sorts of creases all over it, and it's like browning or something like that. But this is a really nice copy. This can still be had for a pretty nice price. Also, New Gods number 7, the first appearance, Steppenwolf, is also a very, very good book to have. Kind of a minor key, but this is a great book. Very important Jack Kirby creation of this fourth world. And this is one that I always want in my collection. Arguably one of the greatest stories in all of Copper Age is Batman the Killing Joke. This is a 9.2 white pages. I had this for quite a long time, sent it off to get graded, and it looks way, way better than a 9.2. I think this one got misgraded by CGC and got lower, a lower grade than what it should have. But this is a great book and even better story. Origin story of the Joker, tragedy that happens to Barbara Gordon and turns her into Oracle. So this is one of the coolest books ever. I think this is definitely one, especially in first print. And also too, if you can collect like all of the subsequent prints, there's like several prints, 7, 8, 9 different printings of this book. Such an iconic book, such an iconic story, and this is definitely a foundational book for Copper. It just came out in 1988, so this is very, very cool. Brian Bolland cover and art, and Alan Moore story. This book is unstoppable. It needs to be, if you're a Batman fan, you need to read this book, and you need to probably own a copy of this book. The last book up is more of a pricey book, but it's definitely one of those ones that garners so much attention and respect when people are looking at the collection, when you're looking at your collection, when other people are looking at your collection. It's one that garners really positive attention, has exploded over the years. But I was in a shop recently and they've got a really, really nice copy on the wall for I think $500. So this is a book that still can be had in raw condition for, not a fortune. That's something you're going to have to save up for or sacrifice for, but it's definitely worth it. This is Batman Adventures number 12, the first appearance of Harley Quinn. This is a 9.4 white pages. It is just such an important book. Harley Quinn has just exploded onto the pop culture main stage. Really, everybody knows her. Little kids are dressing up as Harley Quinn for Halloween. Adults are dressing up as Harley Quinn for Halloween and comic conventions. You'll see all sorts of Harley Quinns at comic conventions, young and old. So this is definitely a book that is a mainstay. This is definitely a book that is a foundational book, and anytime you have this in the collection, people are like, yep, that's really cool. So if you're flipping through my short box here and you pull this one out, you're like, yes, there is the key, there's the money book. So this one's really awesome. And yeah, I like the cover. I love this animation style. I think it's really cool from the Batman animated series. Such a cool book. So that's it, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. It's a lot of DC books, 10 DC books. Let me know if you agree with these books. If you think, man, those two are expensive to be kind of affordable, those are way out of my price range, or those are definitely cool foundational books. I would love to hear your thoughts on these. What else would you add or subtract? There's so many great Neil Adams covers. There's so many great first appearances in DC in this time frame. But these are the ones that I selected for this video. Hopefully this appeases some of my DC friends out there. I love these books too. I love DC myself. So anyways, if you're brand new to the channel, thank you so much for clicking play on this video. Hit that subscription button, hit that bell to be notified when there's future videos. You guys hit that thumbs up. Really do appreciate it every time you do that. It really shows a lot of great support. And then comment down below. And with that, I will talk to you all in the next one. See ya. Bye.